No, I'm not gonna sell it. You know, it's probably gonna be one of those things that it'll be with me for forever. You know, unless the right guy comes up with the right amount of money. Hi, I'm Ryan Wehrli. We're here at our new building, and this is Thomas Andrews from CDT Automotive. He's the new owner of the C10, and we finally got hooked up with the truck. We had some time to do a little chit chat about how it came to be. I think I started this project in 2014. I've always loved this body style. My uncle had one. He still does to this day. So I decided I wanted to take that body, this 70s body style, 67 to 72 body style, and put it on a reliable, solid chassis. I'd always had it in the back of my head to build something for myself. I was always building really cool stuff, one-off stuff for customers. Yeah, I guess in the beginning, it was gonna be just like this mediocre, just something neat to do. I'd already had the chassis. It was a customer of ours, had a two-wheel drive, 250,000 or 280,000 mile LBZ regular cab that I already had sitting there. I pretty much just started out that I wanted to take the body, this body I found, and put it on the chassis I had and use the motor I had, the trans I had, and put a transfer case on the back of it. And then the farther we got into it, the more changes we made along the way as far as the suspension and the motor. And then when we lost the first motor, it's like, well, let's go bigger this time. And so the wheelbase between the 70 and the 06 was like 6 or 7 inches, if I remember right, difference in length. Had to move the rear end forward, and so when we cut the shackles and leaf springs off, it's like I wasn't going to put that shit back on. So that was when they decided to 4-link the rear end too. See, I knew I wanted to do the Dana 60 swap because I'd done a couple for customers and I really liked them. And then the farther we got into it, the more, more money I kind of became available to, spend on, powder coating a bunch of different stuff and doing lockers and axles, and then, building the motor, mildly building the motor and doing a turbo kit and all that stuff. The twin kit that's on it now is the original twin kit that I built for it. And when I did that kit, we wanted to do something different, kind of more of like standing out, like showcase like what we could do or what I could do. So we actually took the valley charge and we turned it 90 degrees. And our thought was to make the hot pipe short, and that's where everything starts. Less distance, the exhaust has to travel, the faster it's gonna spool up. So we did that with that kit. If I was to do it over again, I would probably make it a little bit lower. Maybe I'm just getting old, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to get in and out of sometimes. So I had the truck for 4 or 5 years, using it regularly. We pulled a pull truck around the summer with it. I've got the original truck that started all of this as far as WCFab's concerned, the gray LB7. We were truck pulling that pretty heavily. I would put it on a gooseneck, drag it around the truck pulls, and I had a little boy and my wife, and we'd ride around the weekends, take the boat down the river with it, and it was very useful. I got a lot of use out of it. I loved the truck. And then my wife got pregnant that winter, and we're like, man, it's kind of put a hitch in the way we use the C10, because we can't all ride it anymore. It wasn't as practical anymore as it was. I'm like, man, I should probably just like sell it to somebody who's gonna not really appreciate it more, but use it more.
Yeah, the first time that I actually saw the truck was, oh gosh, back in I think 2016, 2017, when we were building the triple turbo Duramax.
Yes, you had brought that to our shop.
Brought that to your shop.
Yeah,
and we
to finish.
Took it to calibrate it. We put it on the dyno, and then we had an issue. We came back to the shop, and you guys helped us put a water pump in it.
Yes.
Because we were leaking coolant all over the dyno.
Yeah, yep, I remember that now.
So we did that, and then you were showing me the dash.
Yeah, we were machining the dash. Yep.
Yes.
So I had some autometer gauges.
You were machining the dash.
Yeah. Originally had a GM cluster, and I got some gauges, and we had to hand machine. I had a 44-pound billet block of aluminum, and I hand machined it on our old Bridgeport from like the 60s to get the autometer gauges in that, and it ended up being like 5 or 6 pounds at the end. We put that in there. It turned out really cool, actually. Yep. Very proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, I remember.
And that's the first time you had seen
that was the first time
truck.
I'd actually seen the actual truck.
Yeah.
Because you'd been working on it for years before that.
Exactly, yep. It was an ongoing project.
Long, ongoing project. And I'd seen it then, and then I think a year and a half or 2 years later, we went to Rudy's Diesel Season Open.
Yes, my salesman drove it out there because I wasn't able to go.
Yep, they drove it out there, and then I remember telling Jason, if you were ever going to sell it, I wanted it. And it was funny how that came to fruition when we went to Daytona in June of 2020. And you actually, we're finally.
It was for
ready.
sale. We never called you.
Yeah, it was for sale. You never called me.
My little boy, he always hated napping. He got to a point where he wouldn't nap, and I put him in his car seat, and we'd go for a spin, and he'd be out in like a minute and a half.
I've always loved classics. I've always loved messing with vehicles, and we at CDT, we're a diesel enthusiast shop, but we're focused on repair and service. We do some performance work. We do some lift wheels and tires. We do things like that, but we don't ever really have time for projects like
deep
this.
custom stuff.
We're not a fabrication shop, so
Yep.
we don't have the ability, the means to take a chassis, plate a chassis.
You could do
cut
it,
a
but
chassis.
you'd be
We could
losing
do it,
a
but
lot of money.
we'd lose a lot of money. I'd be outsourcing everything,
Yep.
and it would take probably 20 years instead of 6 years.
Well, not that bad.
And so, but yeah. So, for me, it was the perfect case scenario because I had you, who we have a personal relationship and we have a business relationship. You built the truck. Number one, I know it was built with passion.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
built with confidence, and it was
And
built,
got used. It
built
was
right.
proven.
It was proven. It was used. It wasn't babied. You
Yep.
built it for
yeah,
purpose.
I drag racing. We ran, I think, 11.7.
Yeah, I think it was 11.7
Yeah.
in the quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's freaking flying,
Yeah,
right?
that's moving.
And that's moving. So, and it's great for me to have that support system to where if something were to happen with it or I had a question about it, I have you to be able to reach out to. And that helps, from my perspective. And I'm going to love on it. I'm going to appreciate it. And I'm going to continue
And finish
the project
it.
and finish it.
Yeah, like you put
And-
the interior. Like
Yep.
I never had the guts to spend the money to do it, or not
Yep.
the money, but just like, man, I'd really like to do that. But just like it was never like, I don't really need it.
And it always gets to that point, right, when you're in a project for so long and it drags and it drags, and then you get to that final stage where it's driving, it's running.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, I'll just finish the interior
I'll do
later.
that next
I'll
year,
do that
next year,
next
next
year,
year,
and then
yep.
it's next year, next year.
Yep.
And now you guys are in this beautiful facility,
Yeah, yeah.
and you don't have time
I don't
to
even have
work
time to
on
think
stuff
about
like
it, yeah.
this. That's right.
No.
And so it just really worked out. I'm really appreciative of the opportunity. We've used this at parades. I drive it, almost daily when it's nice. If it's raining, I don't want to drive
Yeah,
it.
'cause you guys got a lot better
Yeah.
season for driving this kind of thing than we do.
Yes, so I can drive this thing pretty much year round. Obviously, we may get a snowstorm maybe once a
Little bit.
year,
Yep.
maybe, and it may be like an inch or two.
And it's gone the
right?
next day.
And it's gone the next day. We'll air condition it because I've learned that I like driving it a lot more, and 90 degrees with that humidity
Yeah,
is
that's
pretty
that's
stout.
fair.
It's pretty
that's
rough.
fair. Yeah.
But I love it, man. I mean, it's an unbelievable application. I mean, 750 horsepower on a regular cab is
It was a lot of fun.
a lot of
A
fun.
little bit short
It is-
wheelbase.
a little short wheelbase. It is a lot of fun. But yeah, we've really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it's been
So-
great. I couldn't have when we did decide that we wanted to get rid of it. I had a hard time like thinking about what I may or may not take for it, or who I may or may not sell it to, because it's like, it was such a passionate long-term project. It was part of the business coming up, part of me coming up, and part of my skill set, development and things that didn't know I was capable of doing that I did. And yeah, when I do something different the next time around, absolutely. But it's like I learned so much from doing it, and it was nice to be able to give it to somebody or to sell it to somebody that I 100% knew, had confidence in it, was going to appreciate it, not going to wreck it, not going to do something silly with it, and it was going to be around, it was going to get taken care of, and be finished. I mean, I feel like
No,
we're gonna finish
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Yeah. So I've got the interior started. Still have some big plans for that, and I'm gonna do some odds and end things, and obviously put air conditioning in it. So I have to move the pump back into the valley, and
Yep.
And I want to put another
New intercooler in it, not
on
the
it.
original
Yep,
one?
Not the original.
Still
one.
holding up, though.
It is. It's holding up
Can't
strong.
believe it hasn't
Yep.
popped yet.
Nope, holding up strong, which is pretty impressive with the power that it has.
Yeah,
hasn't
it
popped.
is.
So
It is.
yeah, but no, it's been reliable, man.
Yeah, 'cause it had 22 or 3,000 when I sold it.
Yeah, it was like
to you,
21
or
and
20?
change, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm almost at 25.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it's
I've
got
put
some miles on
a few
it.
thousand miles on
And
it.
I had it for a whole year before those gauges were even in there, so it's probably got another 5 on it,
Right.
maybe, or 3.
It is a fun truck, and it is definitely an attention seeker.
Yeah,
It's a
everybody.
conversation starter, and everybody loves it. You still get to have the level of appreciation that I get to instill in others when they look over the truck, and I can show your work and show everything, and it's awesome that
Living
it
on.
comes full circle, right?
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely does.